Greetings and welcome back to Smartwatch Ticks. Today we are going to take a deeper look at this SMA-TIME special transreflective screen fitness sports smartwatch. Oh, that's a mouthful. What I have here is the watch, and I'm getting it in the reflected light so you can see how the screen works. And I have the app. Now, we did an unboxing and first look video, and I got to tell you, the first look was just that, first look. What we're going to do now is show you what this watch really can do, having accumulated some data first in the app, so you can see what that looks like, a few days worth, and then show you what you can actually do on the watch itself when you're out by yourself with the watch. Now notice you get in the dark area and it goes away, but all you got to do is press a button and you got a backlight. So it works great at night and it works really great under bright light. Let's take a look at the app. Here's today. I haven't done anything with the watch today, but I'm going to take us back. You see the dots? These are the days that I actually accumulated some data on here. Let's go back to the 6th, Friday. Friday was when I was working with it, and I hadn't slept with it yet, so we're still best friends. And I get this kind of data. I have an activity goal, I have my heart rate, and again, I haven't done that yet. Let's skip ahead one day so I can go into more detail on all three of these. The 7th, here we go. I had a good night with the watch. Yeah, let's take a look at that first. When I go in here, it shows you the sleep pattern. Now, it's got it broken into groups of awake and deep sleep and light sleep. It actually calculated when I fell asleep. I didn't have to touch a button and say, I'm going to sleep now, and then, of course, not actually go to sleep. It calculated that. It calculated when I awoke. And it was, I can't tell you about fall asleep, but it was accurate when I woke up, because I remember it was before 7:30. I got up, and then I checked the data. It's like, wow, doggone, it knows. As far as awake time, I fell asleep in 13 minutes, and I slept a total of 8 hours and 13 minutes that night. This is almost good enough for a Facebook post, isn't it? I could just see waking up every morning and telling everybody that cares about me how long I slept last night and how good it was. 4 hours of really deep sleep and almost 4 hours of light sleep, and it was split this way. You see, the deep is the white areas, so I get a lot of good deep sleep, then a little bathroom break, then some more deep sleep, and then I was a little rest. You get the drift. I don't want to go on and on, but I do want to show you that I can slide this way and go to the next night. Okay, this was the 7th. Here's the 8th. And here's the sleep information from that night. And do it again, and there's the sleep information from that night. And I can even go in here and show you a weekly total that shows overall so far for the week. And you see them divided in here from January the 1st through the 7th. I got that much purple and that much white. Yay. Everything you wanted to know about your sleep patterns. This is actually one of the more robust and well thought out and well presented synopsi of sleeping. And if you've got those narcissista, the end thing where you can't sleep very good, this might be a good app for you. Put a clothespin on your nose and see if you sleep better, that kind of stuff. All right, heart rate monitor. We go into here, and I got mine set initially for every 15 minutes to take my heart rate, my pulse, and see what it looked like. And sure enough, all the way through the entire day, we got data. And you can see it's going every 15 minutes. 50s, 60s while I was asleep. You want to talk about calculating your resting heart rate? How about your sleeping heart rate, right? 3 in the morning. Got up to 76. Must have been a good dream at 5:15. And then boom, 105. I think that's an anomaly. Yeah, when you're moving around, your arm may not just catch the right moment, and you might get a strange reading or two, but obviously from the night sleep mode to the awake day mode, my heart rate went higher. And you can see that throughout the day. And you see it in the chart. When I go back up to the chart, there I'm sleeping, there I'm awake. You get kind of an overall feel for what your heart rate is like. You're supposed to calculate your rest heart rate by kind of fasting, and they give you instructions. And then you do it, and you set that. So that's your baseline, and then this can calibrate from that baseline. I haven't done that yet. That again was the 7th. Here's the 8th. Hey, I went out and did some exercise, gang. I did a little bit here too. Honestly, I did. I had some trees that needed trimming. So there I am, trimming trees and getting a nice, decent pulse rate up here in the 130, 136 category. I wanted to test it and see if this thing really is accurate or it's just grabbing numbers out of thin air. It's really accurate. It does give you good data. And there's the overall proof of it. Okay? And then I took the watch off, I guess, on the 9th. And when I took it off, it stopped reading. So it's not giving erroneous readings anymore. It just is giving null. Very nice. Very impressed with this so far, both on the sleep and the heart rate. And as far as your activity goal, it shows you the times that, on the chart that you were walking and running and sitting. And it shows you the steps. Sedentary, I logged in 1,849 steps, probably tapping to music while working on the computer, answering all your guys' comments. Walked, and then sat, and then walked, and then sat. And walked and sat. Oh, this is sad. This is my life. No run? Okay, shoot. I got to get out and run. I really do. Yeah. Hello. All right, you've seen enough of that. Except I want to show you that you do get a weekly average steps, average calories, distance, and it's all been 9 hours and 29 minutes of really good quality, low exercise. Yeah. And of course, you can get a monthly summary as well. So you have those tabs, you have the dailies, you have all of that stuff accumulated not only in the app, but up in the cloud, because this is synced to the cloud. How do I know this? Because the watch was actually tethered to the phone I'm recording this with, which is my everyday carry-around LG G3. And I simply logged in on this one under the account I set up on that one, and it pulled all this data in. So right now the watch is still linked to this phone, but we're looking at all of the data that it accumulated on this one, all the way back. So it's keeping a history. And speaking of history, the watch is supposed to actually accumulate 7 days worth of data on it before it starts dropping it off. So you don't even need to have your phone with you and do lifetime tethering. You can tether it whenever you get a chance, make that connection, transfer the data, it goes into the cloud, and you're good to go with all of your data on the watch. Now, speaking of cloud, I did want to mention something for you. I think I just went back to a different date. Okay, here we go. We got the data, we got all that stuff. But what I want to do is go to the Me tab. I can't show you all my account stuff, but I'm gonna show you that I'm gonna hit this log out button here, and I am confirming to log out, and it's logging me out. Okay, good. And now I'm back at the very beginning again. So when you first launch the app, remember in the unboxing video I told you you were really in trouble because you have to sign in with your phone number and get a verification by text in order to use this app. I want to correct that on this more in-depth review to show you that there's actually a hidden little thing up here. You can say email register, and now you can register with your email address and password, and you'll get the verification code via email. That's what you're going to need to put in order to register, and then you'll be in the app. So don't worry about it if you don't want to disclose your phone number to China. It's okay. You don't have to. You can just do an email sign-in. They need something so that they can sync your watch to it, and that's what they'll be using. All right, that's the whole thing about the app. Let's get into the little device itself. The left button turns the light on and always brings you back a level until you get to the display itself, right? Now, if you press the middle button, you get into these panels, which you can go through by pushing either the up or down button, like this. It circles around and comes back. It shows you your current activity of the day on the watch, in case you want to know how many steps you've walked. All right? You press it again, it goes into your last heart rate. If you've got it on that incremental heart rate reading thing, if you want to take a heart rate, we're going to do that in a minute. We can actually go into a real-time, constantly on, constantly monitoring, accurate heart rate monitor on a transreflective screen. Oh my goodness. This is really a good watch. You have your messages, and if you tap here, you can get a message or two. Okay, here's an example of one. It says, message not going through, try again. It's little writing, and it's like that. And I don't know why I got that, but when I was texting from my phone, it gave me some of these on the watch. I got 9 different messages. Some are real, some are kind of like this. But it shows you that you can see it. Unfortunately, you can't scroll it. So if you've got really long messages, you can't see much. Obviously, because it's not a touch screen, it's only button operated, but you can read your messages. You're not able to answer them. You should be able, I think, to dismiss them. Yeah, see, I can delete it by pressing this, and now that message is gone. Okay, and it's cleared from the device. Oh, all of them are gone. All right, so make sure you check them all before you do that. And that's the message tab. Then we come to settings. You see my battery charge is right here, and that says I'm not tethered right now, I believe. And I can press in here. I have the date time option to go in and set the time or the date. You go up and down, and then you just press it to get in there, and you can set it. But we have it synchronized with the phone, right? So I don't need to do that. Pressing this goes back. We have an alarm that we can set. I start my day at 9 o'clock, and I have it beep on my arm to let me know, okay, time to stop watching the news and seeing what Trump is doing and get back to life. And you can set any kind of alarms that you want on there as well. You can also set up your do not disturb on or off. In the app, as you saw earlier, you can set up time frames where it'll go into do not disturb, and it won't vibrate. It only vibrates. There's no sound out of this. So do not disturb just means it's not going to vibrate on your arm, okay? This is where we set our units as metric or imperial. I run in imperial. The sad thing is I cannot find a way to set the time in your standard 12-hour AM and PM. It's always in 24-hour mode. So I'm really learning what 1900 is and 2200, and I never wanted to, but I like the watch so much I'm going to. I have 2 choices of languages, English and Chinese so far. So for those of you going, right now, sorry, but you're watching this in English, so I hope you can read English because it's an English watch. And then we have our device info. It's not paired. Its power is at 70%. That's a good way to check what your power level is. 40 days standby on this transreflective screen. Got it? 40 days. That is awesome. Now, I don't know if I'm doing real-time heart rate monitoring, if it's going to be like that. And I'm actually going to be doing that because I want to kind of see what the heart rate looks like over time. I'm a fickler on numbers. I like that stuff. These buttons don't do anything but light it up at that point. Nothing happens there except your back button. And then we could do a factory reset, and we can actually turn it off 2 ways, right here or by pressing and holding the button. Which way you want to go? Are we done? I mean, if we do this like that, then we cancel it or confirm here. That's how you turn the power off. I'm going to cancel it and come back out of here because we're not done looking at everything, right? We have the tools, in which case we have one tool, the stopwatch, and we can start it with the middle button, and it's going. And then we have a red stop over here, and I think this is a lap, so I can press that and I can get a lap time. I can press it again and get another lap time. And I could just keep pressing it and pressing it. It only shows 2, but if I pause it, and I guess I cleared it. Some way you can see multiple times. Pause it. Maybe I have to stop it. I don't know. Anyway, you can see your last 2 stopwatch times, okay? And back one more. That was it for tools. We have no more tools. However, you might be able to get a firmware update, which you can do through the app, and they'll add more tools. We'll see. and activity. So we've gone through all of these: activity, heart rate, message, settings, tools, and we're back to heart rate. So we're going to strap this on. There you go. We are in the heart rate mode. I just simply press once, says I'm there. I press again, and it starts measuring. And now, for the life of the battery in the watch, it will sit here measuring my heart rate on a regular basis. The first few measurements I've noticed are a little off. I hope they're a little off. It takes a little while to normalize. Once it does, then you got yourself a really good working regular heart rate monitor that you can see easily outside. So if you want to do your exercise against brackets, which is something that a lot of people do to maintain a certain fitness level, you stay below your maximum but above your minimum. This watch can let you do that, not by beeping and boing and making all sorts of sounds, but by just being available for you to glance at quickly while you're jogging outside or on the treadmill or running or whatever, and see what your heart rate is. And if you're within your zone, you're cool. If you're too low, speed it up, so forth. All right? And that works all the time. It's always on. I let it run all night one night, and it's working great. And the battery is still doing fine. And yes, the little green diode thing is always on. It's always beeping at you. Or not beeping, but I mean, you know, it's doing its thing. It's taking its measurements. Man, this is a really killer watch. The transreflective screen I just really like being able to see the time anytime I want to, or the blood pressure when I'm outside. So grab yourself one of these. They're really not all that expensive. We got a coupon on it for you in the bottom of the show notes here from Gearbest, who out of the clear blue said, I got this watch. Do you want to take a look at it? They oftentimes get first pick of a bunch of really nice stuff, and I'm really honored that they offer it to us for review. So check it out, the SMA-TIME. It's a Pebble screen, color screen-like watch with a transreflective screen, and it's a good watch. I have it on all the time now. This is the one I'm using, even though I got all the fancy ones. This one tells time. All right. Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you're subscribed. Please do if you haven't. And check out the unboxing video we did on this one as well. It's already up.